I mean, there's a lot of, revisionist history and myth-making going on here. Senator Ortman talks about facts, which aren't really facts, but we can get into that later. But the bottom line is the governor has been engaging the entire session. There's a stack of letters, inches thick, of information coming back from the commissioners on the budgets that have been proposed, concerns with the budgets that have been proposed by the Republicans. And we can bring those out if we need to do that. As to the cuts, I mean, the Republican budget has done $3.6 billion in cuts. So there's plenty of cuts to choose from. And we've talked about this. Once you agree to the revenue, the $1.8 billion in revenue, finding the ways to to reduce the cuts that you've already proposed, that's going to be an easy job. But what we need to get is an agreement on, once you agree to that revenue, which, the vast majority of Minnesotans, if you look at the polls and you go out and talk to people, as I've been doing, support, what you'll see is we'll be able to figure out this budget really quickly. And that's what we're asking. That's why I'm disappointed that there's not a counteroffer coming back from the Republicans. There's been one offer, one budget that the Republicans have voted on this entire time. That's the $34 billion. That's their starting point. That's your starting point. You haven't moved off of that since January 1st. Several of you around this table actually voted no to a $32 billion budget, even though you throw that out as something that's happened. I think Representative Downey voted against that, and others at this table. When they had the chance to actually vote on a $32 billion budget, they rejected that idea. So $34 billion is the only budget that has ever been offered by the Republicans. Governor DAyton has come down substantially twice. February 15th, he put out his initial budget. When the new forecast came out, he adjusted that, reduced his tax proposal, as you all know. And then over 2 weeks ago, moved down another $1.8 billion, coming halfway down from where his proposal is. The reality is his current budget, based on what we spent on state services last year, is just a little bit, it's about 3% growth on an annual basis over on money we spent in the past. And that reflects the fact that we have not a biennial number, but a number, if you include the federal stimulus and you include the borrowing that happened as well. And that's also a budget, it's a significant note I would add. The budget that we're working off of that was forecast at $39 billion, that's a budget that Governor Plenty signed. It's a budget that Speaker Zellers voted for. It's a budget that Representative Dean voted for. It's a budget that I imagine there's other, I don't know, Representative Garofalo, if you voted on House File 1 in special session last year. I imagine Representative Lanning did vote for that budget. It's a budget that the Democrats voted for, and we should all take responsibility for that. But the $39 billion that was forecast is a budget I would bet a majority of the people around this table actually voted for last, when was it, June? May, the end of May, I guess in May. And I don't know about the Senate side, but certainly in the House side, that was the case. And so, we can all throw around all these numbers. The fact is Governor DAyton has made a significant move in the direction of the Republicans. His budget is supported by the majority of Minnesotans. As we've gone through it, it's time for the Republicans to put a counteroffer on the table. That is how we can be productive. That is how we can actually get the work that the people elected us to do done. And I'm, again, disappointed that we're not seeing that happening.